My name is Alex, and I work the night shift at a small motel on the edge of town. The kind of place that looks normal in daylight, but feels different when the sun goes down. I wanted quiet. I wanted to be alone. I did not expect to feel watched. The road leading here is mostly empty. At night, the cars are rare, and the wind carries only faint sounds of the trees and the distant highway. The neon sign above the motel flickers softly in the dark. The letters blink sometimes, and sometimes a part of the sign goes out completely. Inside the lobby, the fluorescent lights hum, a steady, low sound that fills the silence. I thought I knew every sound this place made until the night that changed everything. That night began like any other. The doors were locked. The few guests were in their rooms, and I was sitting at the front desk with a security monitor glowing in front of me. Then I noticed something I could not explain at first. The motel has 9 rooms, and only a few of them are usually occupied. There is room 2 with a truck driver who never speaks more than a word or two. There is room 7 with an old woman who leaves the television on all night, claiming she cannot sleep in silence. Room 9 is empty most nights. The lock on that door is broken, and the management has never fixed it. My job is simple. Watch the front desk. Make sure the guests are safe. Check the cameras every hour. Most of the cameras are old. Sometimes the video flickers. Sometimes the motion sensors activate for no reason. I've learned to ignore these minor glitches. I've learned to stay calm. That night around 1 a.m., I saw the monitor for room 9 flash to life. The door was closed. The lights inside were off, and yet there was movement on the screen. I leaned closer. A shadow crossed the room slowly, like someone had been pacing near the bed. My first thought was that it was a trick of the camera, but the shape was too distinct to ignore. I grabbed my flashlight and walked toward the room. The hallway was colder than usual. The air smelled faintly of old wood and dust. I turned the knob and pushed the door open just a few inches. The room was dark. The bed was neatly made. The curtains were drawn. The air smelled like an old air freshener. Nothing seemed out of place. I thought I was imagining it, until I heard the faintest sound behind me, a breathing sound that was not mine. Slow, steady breaths that seemed to come from the corner of the room. I froze and whispered hello. There was no reply, just the faint movement of air as if something had been pressed close to the wall. I stepped back and gently closed the door. My mind raced for logical explanations. Maybe a rat or the heating vent making noise. Maybe my imagination was playing tricks. I looked back at the monitor and the shadow had vanished. Around 3 a.m., the bell at the front desk rang. The glass door had not opened. The bell simply rang. I checked the parking lot. Empty. No cars, no footsteps in the gravel. When I returned to the counter, there was a key sitting on the desk. Room 9. I did not place it there. My hands trembled slightly as I picked it up. I tried the phone to call the manager, but there was only static and then silence. I could feel my heartbeat in my ears. I checked the cameras again. The feed for room 9 was black, as if someone had covered the lens. A cold feeling ran down my spine. I tried to steady myself. I sat back at the desk and tried to focus on the small tasks that filled my shift. Then I heard it again, the breathing. Softer this time. Louder this time. Closer. I froze. Every sound in the motel seemed to fade except that quiet inhale and exhale that was not mine. I grabbed my flashlight again and walked slowly toward the hallway. The lights overhead flickered and dimmed slightly. My shadow stretched against the walls as if warning me. At the end of the hall, I thought I saw movement, a silhouette standing still. Watching. I whispered into the empty air and asked, "Who was there?" Silence. Then, the shadow moved back slightly into the darkness. I tried to convince myself it was nothing, but I felt the undeniable presence of someone in the room. When the morning came, the manager arrived. I told him what I saw. He did not look surprised. He opened a drawer and pulled out a small folder. Inside was a photo of a man at the front desk wearing the same uniform as mine. The caption said Night Clerk, 2023 Primera Star Red at Italiano. I was sure I had never seen this man before. The manager told me room 9 had been sealed after an accident the previous year. Nobody was supposed to enter, yet I had just experienced something inside that room that defied explanation. That night I returned. I could not stay away. I had to see for myself. The motel looked the same under the pale neon light. The hallway smelled of dust and cold air. I approached room 9. The key was still on the desk. I carried it with me. I turned the knob slowly and entered. The room was dark, but the faintest glimmer of moonlight came through the window. The bed was neat. The air smelled stale. I heard the breathing again. It was louder now, directly behind me. I did not turn around. I whispered, "I know you are there." The air shifted. I felt a presence move closer. I wanted to scream, but my voice would not form. My hands shook. Then I turned slowly. The corner of the room was empty. The shadow was gone. I felt a cold sensation brush past me as if someone had walked through my body. I stumbled toward the door. The key slipped from my hand. When I looked back, the shadow was standing in the doorway, watching, silent. I backed out of the room, closed the door, and for the first time since taking this job, I realized I was not alone in the motel. I was being watched. Always. I continue to work the night shift. The other guests come and go. Room 9 remains empty. Sometimes I hear the bell ring at the front desk with no one entering. Sometimes the shadow appears at the end of the hall, just for a moment. I have learned to accept it. There is nothing I can do. I do not speak of it. I do not try to confront it. I simply work my shift and let the quiet watch over me as it always has. At night, I sit at the desk. The hum of the fluorescent lights fills the empty spaces. I can feel the presence of something unseen, something waiting, something watching. And when the wind moves the curtains slightly, I know it knows. I'm aware. If you are still awake, maybe you should not be.